that Haiti is forever gone, obviously. The Haiti, Port-au-Prince I knew had the best waterfront of any capital city in the Caribbean. It was absolutely magnificent. It was created for the 200th anniversary of Port-au-Prince. It was an international exposition, so all the nations were represented there. And the main boulevard is the Harry S. Truman Boulevard, which is kind of interesting. But you had a magnificent view of the bay and that kind of thing. It was right there at the water's edge. The last time that I saw that place, you could not see the water at all because people have built shanties on the bay. It's garbage and the shanties are printed there, and there is no way to access that area anymore. And as a matter of fact, it is dangerous to go there because there are kidnappings that occur every single day in Port-au-Prince as we speak. And the gangs, many gangs are fighting for supremacy in the capital city, and they have reached the area where the National Palace is, which is interesting. The Haiti of my youth had water galore. We're talking about beautiful fountains, and at night you had fountains with European classical music, and that is significant in terms of the Haitian elite. And it changed colors that went up and down with Beethoven, that kind of thing. It was a magnificent part of the city, certainly. But I lived a block away from the National Palace. So whenever there were political events, political issues, we heard the cannons, we heard the gunfire, we heard everything. And so we were pretty much a block away. So that was kind of interesting. Now, Haiti is very different. Gangs started forming themselves after young Haitians who had grown up in the U.S., but somehow never got U.S. citizenship. Their parents were here. They were born in Haiti, they were brought in as children, they ended up in prison. At the end of the prison term, they were sent back to Haiti, not knowing the language, not knowing anyone, not having any jobs or any skills. They were just dumped there.
So the U.S. had a policy of deporting Haitian...
And this was also the beginning of gangs in places like El Salvador, for instance, which has the same problem in terms of gangs.
Okay.
And so those kids got together, and that was the outcome of that policy. Now it's become more indigenized. So now young Haitians from the slums are certainly participating in all this. Very dangerous. Many people have been kidnapped. It's continuous. It's on a daily basis. And the government seems unable to do anything because the police force is about, I think, about 12,000 people for a population of about 12 million.
Wow.
And we have no army because President Aristide had shut down the army, which was getting about, at some point, 60% of the national budget, and was essentially a police force because we were not going to fight any foreign enemies. And so it's a very different place, and there are certain sections of the capital where you can't go at all.
Yeah.
The police won't go. But, I've been to Brazil 8, 9 times, and it's the same thing in terms of the favela, in terms of those slums, where the police will not even go. They're afraid to go.
Too dangerous.
It is too dangerous for the police, and these folks have better weapons than the police, so that's not going to work too well. But there was an effort the last couple of years where they sent in actually the army in those slums in Brazil. So I don't know what the end result was. And so we have become very much like those other countries.